Hey, what's up, guys? It's Grill Hands. Just got done eating some Godoba for lunch, and if you don't know what those places are, it's one of those burrito joints that sell burritos that are about as wide as they are long. So I'm gonna try not to fall into a food coma while doing this commentary, but no promises. I got some Gears of War 3 gameplay for you, some King of the Hill on the map Gridlock. And Gridlock actually is probably one of my favorite maps, if not my favorite map from Gears of War 3. I think this map came from Gears 1. People are probably going to chastise me for this, for not knowing this, but yeah, I didn't play much Gears prior to Gears 3, so I don't know this type of stuff. But yeah, I think it came from Gears 1. They've kind of reskinned it a little bit, but yeah, I absolutely love this map. But I don't know what it is about this match, but I always get into these really long, drawn-out matches whenever I play on Gridlock, especially in King of the Hill. This match in particular lasted 30 minutes. Obviously, I'm not going to upload the entire gameplay because that would have been hellacious to try to commentate over. I don't have enough to talk about in the 6-minute time frame, let alone 30 minutes. But yeah, no, I'm just showing the tail end of the second round and most of the third round. The only stuff that I cut out was like the respawn timer, so you're really not going to miss anything. But yeah, I can imagine for some people this wouldn't be very appealing, you know, if you told somebody that a game lasted 30 minutes, because that's a long time investment for just one match. I know in Battlefield 3, I've had single rounds last as long as 40-45 minutes in games of Rush. That's a lot of time just to play one specific match. If you're the kind of person that wants to jump on, play a bunch of games or a bunch of different matches very quickly in a short time frame and hop off, yeah, that might not be very appealing for you. It might be a little bit of a deterrent, this type of structure. I know in Call of Duty, whenever I'm playing TDM, if a match starts to last longer than 7 or 8 minutes, I get a little frustrated because I feel like it's taking too long. So yeah, I could see how that wouldn't be appealing for some. But this game and matches that last this long don't really bother me because they don't happen all the time, and the reason it lasted as long as it did was because the teams were fairly balanced on both sides. The entire way through, it's a 3-round match. We made it to the tiebreaker round, but every round both teams were always fighting for the ring, and even if you held onto the ring, it was normally broken very quickly. So there never really was one dominating side, or you know, it wasn't easy. It was kind of a hard-fought fight. The third round we actually kind of, I guess the momentum was in our favor or something, but the previous 2 rounds were pretty close all the way through. So yeah, I don't mind stuff like that because it was competitive. And I'm going to touch base a little bit more on competition here in a second. I do want to talk about incendiary grenades, though, because those things got a buff, and I actually feel now like they're more powerful than frag grenades, at least in my hands. Because frag grenades, yeah, sure, they have a larger blast radius, but they have a time delay, so when you throw those things, a person has a window of opportunity to evade them before they explode. But with the incendiary grenades, especially if you're playing King of the Hill, all you have to do, you know, they get in close, you just throw it near their feet, and it's an insta-kill. And it's got such a large blast radius now, it's really easy to pick people off. So I don't know if they're going to need to tone them down or not, but they are certainly far more effective than they ever were before this patch. So yeah, well, they're definitely one of my favorite power weapons to pick up now in King of the Hill. Really work out very well. So we'll have to wait and see if they need to tone them down at all. Yeah, what I was talking about before in terms of competitive play is I wanted to get your opinions on how important competition is for you in a video game. I mean, is it something essential? Are you going to pick up a game only if it has a competitive element for it, or do you not care at all? And the reason I say that is I know people on both ends of the spectrum. I know people who could care less. They jump onto the game, they just want to blow off some steam. They don't care if they win or lose. They don't care what their overall performance is. They enjoy the game mechanics. So they just play a couple rounds and then they jump off. They don't care about learning routes, learning grenade spots. I'm referencing Call of Duty, but you know, getting better at the game. They just want to have fun. That's about it. They don't really care what the setting is. And I know people on the other end of the spectrum that refuse to pick up certain games because they feel like it just inherently doesn't have true competition, or it doesn't have a very good competitive infrastructure established. So yeah, where do you guys fall on that? I mean, is it essential for you if you want to enjoy a game, or could you care less? For me, it's not essential, but I certainly do enjoy it. I do feel sometimes like games can grow stale if you don't have that competitive element towards it. And to give you an example, when I was playing Black Ops, I always played with the team when I first started playing the game, and we hardly ever lost at all. I think I went on like a 200 game win streak when I first got the game, and I lost because I started playing solo, but or no, I played Search and Destroy, which was stupid. I'm horrible at that game type. We went on this, like, whenever we played people as a full team, we hardly ever lost and the game grew stale. And that's because Call of Duty's matchmaking doesn't pair you up with people of equal skill. It just pairs you up with the best host. It just brings people in at random. And a lot of the times we would play people that didn't know each other. They weren't set squads or set teams, and people would just, wouldn't know how to compete and stuff like that. So the game started to get, stale, and that's when I started to play solo, because that added a little extra competition, because you weren't quite sure what type of teammates were going to end up on your team. So yeah, I had to switch things up to make the game a little bit more interesting. So yeah, it definitely adds another level of enjoyment whenever it's there, but I wouldn't say it's absolutely essential that it has to be in the game. But I do like games that do implement it. I know Gears of War 3 and Halo both have their own type of matchmaking system, or rank-based system. I know Halo does a really good job of it. And Gears, I'm not sure how the system works. I think it pairs you up based on your skill level. I've never... Every so often we'll play against teams, when I do play ranked, that are like well below our skill level, and then I also run into teams that absolutely kick our ass. So I don't know how it works, but there's still a competitive element involved. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. How important is competition for you whenever you're playing video games, and if you feel like games would be better off if they had some type of competitive element in there as well. I know there's game battles also, but I'm just talking about what's available within the game. But let me know what you guys think, and like always, take it easy.